Hello, friend. We are starting December 1st today. Can you believe it? I can't believe we're already at the end of the year, and so much of the year has flown by for me. There were so many changes, so many updated processes in my life, and I know that you're going through that as well. So I was thinking this would be a good time for us to reflect on what we want this last month to be. Not even worrying about the new year, but how do I want to finish this year? Like, what are the things that I didn't get to finish yet? Or what did I say I wanted to start that I didn't get to start? This month, I made myself promise that I was going to get on my Peloton every day. And so then I was like, that's a little harsh. It's a little bit extreme. So now I'm like, I'm going to bike 3 times a week like I was before, and at least 2 outdoor walks. Then maybe I'll do a Pilates or something. But I want to use my app every day. I paid $50 for it. I said I wanted to do it. And for some reason, this year has really been a struggle for me to do. So I just want to get that started. It doesn't mean it's a goal like that I have to finish or anything like that. So what is something you want to do before the end of the year? Start, finish, and maybe you just don't want to gain through this holiday season, which can be hard with all the extra parties and stuff. So that's one thing I wanted to leave you with. Another thing is, what do you want to start, finish the year with? Can't believe we're in December 1st. And then something happened today that made me think I need to think about things differently. We're always learning and always thinking about things differently. To tell the whole story, my son had a doctor's appointment today. I went with him and I was like so mad at him because he was only like 5 minutes late, but it was like, I was like, oh my God, you need to be at the doctor's on time because I didn't even tell him this story, but I was just so mad. I was like, yeah, you got to be to your doctor's appointment on time. Well, I had a bad experience where the doctor's office left more than enough time, but we recently had a bridge that had been hit. So the toll for the bridge is making every auxiliary traffic route you could take jammed. So, and this was at the beginning of it. It was like it happened 2 weeks or a month before my doctor's appointment, and people were still trying to reroute, find the right times to leave. So I left with a good amount of time for the doctor's appointment because I know how the doctor's offices are. And when I tell you that I had called the doctor's office, I told them I was running late because of the traffic. Is it okay to still come? Y'all, I got there maybe 5 or 10 minutes past my appointment time and had taken off of work, was so late doing everything. And they told me that no, I could not do my doctor's appointment. So I ended up being like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like having a meltdown because I was so frustrated after sitting in traffic. And I was a patient of theirs for so many years. And it just so happened my friend that usually works there, she had a death in the family, so she wasn't there. And it just, that was really the reason why I was still going there, and decided I'm not going to go there. It was for a GYN appointment. And this is when I was going through like a lot of hormonal changes. I needed help and support. And it already took like 2 months to get an appointment with them. So they even had called me back afterwards and was like, do you want to make an appointment? No, I don't want an appointment with y'all. I can't stand you guys, and I'm never going to you again. And I think I told them that because I didn't care. I was not walking in kindness. But my son had the same, not the same doctor, but it was for the same system, the same like health care system. So I was just like, I had anxiety, and I think he already has anxiety, but I had anxiety, and I was just like, oh my God, like they're going to make us turn around and we're going to go down there for no reason and it's going to be terrible. And I was like, you better call. You're going to call right now. And so he called and they were like, no, it's fine for you to come. And y'all, let me tell you, I let him go in and I parked, but it was like the Lord had showed me this is why you can't go into situations like this. These people were nice. They greeted us. They were like, and who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm just a nosy mom. But even there, they had like holiday stuff up, artwork on the walls that somebody had taken time to paint. One of the physician assistant took time to paint. So it was like a total different experience. The doctor came, greeted us, was like, "How are you guys? Tell me about what's going on." So it was just like, wow, like I had no kind of grace and mercy in my mind for this place. And that's one of the things we have to remember, that when we're learning to be positive, to do our affirmations, all these things that I've been doing for almost 30 days, not to forget grace and mercy, to have faith, to have hope. Because in all that, like, I really had anxiety. I was giving my son anxiety. And then it was like so peaceful and so calm when we went there. The ladies were very nice. And we have to remember that it's like, it's always divine helpers. It's always God's grace and mercy. So maybe I wasn't praying and stuff on my way to the last appointment. Definitely I wasn't, because I was rushing. You know, as soon as I got anxiety about the time being bad, when I had to go for my appointment, I feel like I was out of my own peace. I didn't choose peace. So when I got there, I was like in almost meltdown mode, because it was like in my mind, I was like, now it's like I'm going to look crazy having to go to this new job that I'm going to, and I'm going to tell them that the appointment got canceled because I was late, but even though I left on time. And that's what ended up happening. And the people at the job were like, yeah, that happens. Doctors' offices are jerks. So that's why, and they're not all like that. But some of the front desk people are special. If you're a front desk person, don't be like that. Because usually if people are going through some kind of crisis, some kind of discomfort, like, you could be what helps them have a better day. And sometimes it's not the doctors, but sometimes the doctors know, blah, blah, blah. All that to say, that was another lesson that I had learned at the beginning of the month is, we have to make sure that we remember there's grace and there's mercy, and there's different divine helpers that are willing to extend that to us. We just have to be open to it and not choose chaos, not lean into chaos. And it was like also grace and mercy for me to not be like upset. Like, I could have just been like, yeah, it happens. Like, you wake up late or whatever. But it's because that was my point of view, not thinking about what he was going through, being in pain, all these things. So that was another lesson that I learned that I wanted to share with you this month about being mindful of that. And then, like, the third thing, just being like, during the holiday season, it's so easy to get overwhelmed with everything that I don't know if I'm going to do all my decorations, but I decided I'm not going to get stuck in making myself do all the decorations and all the things, because no one's asking me to do that. I can still decorate. I have so many decorations that even if I did, I don't know, a quarter of my decorations, it'll still be a lot of decorations. So I've decided to do that, and that I am going to go to the gym every day this month. And if it's only 30 minutes, it's fine. I did my Pilates class today that I love, and it was only 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, girl, you should get on the machines. You should do this. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. It's okay to only do 30. So 30 minutes on, or not 30 minutes, but every day on my Peloton app, whether it's doing my bike, I want to do 2 outdoor walks because I really do enjoy them. They're motivational. I always feel better after doing them. So I also want to go to the gym. I love going to the gym. Like, I love my strength train routine, which I want to try some different ones and even get into the gym with Gary, because those are things that I think it's only going to benefit me to be stronger. It's not going to benefit me to be worrying about how much weight I lose, but it is going to benefit me if I keep saying to myself, my strength training is important, get it done. And then last, just making sure that I'm extending grace and mercy to my family, to myself, and to systems, because in the systems are human beings that are going through things as well. So I was like, ooh, that's something for the end of the year. Those are some things I can be intentional about. I'm still on my declutter, improving my house journey, which is actually a thing in different cultures that I did not even know about. Like, Jamaican culture, they said that that's what you do before the end of the year is you paint, you clean up, you do all these things. And I think I'm a quarter Jamaican, half Jamaican, quarter Jamaican. My sister's half. No, my sister's like 3/4. So Yeah, I think that, those are things that I'm working on. I want to finish doing all of that by this weekend. I told my husband I did need his help because I had noticed that it's not looking the way I would want to look, and I need his help because he did used to do masonry and all this stuff when we were in high school and when he was going to through college. So I'm like, yeah, I need your help more than I thought. Like, and remember, that's what I had said. Start what you can. I did what I could. My son came and helped me with some putting up some border and stuff. So it's like, do what you can. And then there'll be helpers. My son was a helper. My daughter helps me, and that's fine. But that's something I wanted to do. And it does feel good that it took me since COVID, maybe 3 years, 4 years, we did a big remodel. It feels good that the things that I said I wanted to get done by whatever time that didn't get done, 4 years later, I'm getting it done. I'm checking it off my list. I will be going live Wednesday, the 3rd. I want you to join me just so I can hear about what you're going through, some of the questions. I'll be talking about the holidays. I'll also be talking about mindful declutter, how we can clear out our mind and help us to flow better. So I hope I see you there, friend. Have an awesome rest of your night.